from downtown Inglewood. 117-83. Yes.
Going on.
I don't think anyone's ready to leave, as it is the Clippers who take a 2-1 series lead as we welcome you to Clippers Live postgame presented by Hyundai on FanDuel Sports Network. Yes, the claw was all over it. Norman Powell reinvigorated and hooked it up with his old pal Ivica Zubac. And how about James Harden, who really opened up the scoring early in this one? 13 first quarter points. Yeah, James. Everything to smile about as we do indeed say hello to you right now. Jeannie's the last spotlight with former Clipper Corey Maggette. It's very loud, and you know what? It's magnificent. It went exactly as scripted. Steve and Connie Ballmer built a shrine to the nation, and the fans are here, and they don't want to leave because this felt really good. You can't hear me at all.
I can't hear you at all. I'm just going to stand out for the fans. Yeah. You know what? This is what we love, Janie. The first ever playoff game in Intuit Dome. We have the fans. They were absolutely sensational.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
But it goes to the players and what they did on the floor. The continuity, the great chemistry, the flow. Everything worked the right way. And early on in the game, it seemed like Denver had a little bit of an edge. Eric Gordon was hot early.
Mojo, Eric. Yes, he was.
But they continued to weather the storm. And again, from James Harden, one of the 75 greatest players of all time, Kawhi Leonard, one of those guys as well, they stepped in and did their job collectively as a unit. And we're just so very happy to be a part of it.
There is so much to unpack here because everybody had something to do on both sides of the ball. Let's start with the three-pointers in this one because there were 9 in the first quarter as the Clippers were really setting a tone. You talk about Aaron Gordon out of the gate, but then the Clippers said, wait a while, this is our house.
And we talked about this early before the show. You asked me what player was going to get going. I said it was going to be either Norman Powell or James Harden, and they did that tonight. And early on in that first quarter, we saw how sensational James Harden could be by hitting those big threes. And it was at one point I said this at halftime, it was 22-26. Joker had just scored, but James Harden came back with a dagger with a three. And then he hit another dagger. And then he hit another dagger. And it was a trickle-down effect for this entire team, the way they shot the three ball tonight.
All right, so we talked about the offense. We got to focus on the defense because that is the bread and butter of this Clippers team, the identity from Jump Street, and it was present here tonight, Corey.
Well, first of all, I salute Coach Ty Lue, and I can salute Coach Jeff Van Gundy from the defensive side. You have to get a team to really buy in. They started this early in the season. Even with all the additions mid-season by trades, they found a way to get to what works best for this team. And defensively, if you want to win championships, you have to have defensive principle. You need to have discipline. And they had that through this series going so far. And tonight was the night that we saw that, Gene. Multiple efforts defensively. If it was Nicholas Batum getting the block, if it was Zoo, patrolling the paint. Everybody knew exactly what to do. You needed to be on the string as a team, and they were absolutely spectacular tonight doing that.
There are so many notes defensively. They had 20 points in the first 4:35 of the game. There was a stretch in this one where they had 38 points with about 4:30 left in the third quarter. They just were stifled, absolutely stifled. And Denver did not have any type of response. I guess I was expecting them to come out off the mat a little bit more in the third quarter. Admittedly, the offense stalled a bit for the Clippers as well. But they went to the bank early, and they could lean into that cushion. As mentioned, James Harden, we saw the big smile coming in because he was cooking early, Corey.
Man, he was cooking, and you had to go back to James Harden. He's spinning the ball. He's making something.
Right.
But how special James Harden was as a player. And again, it started by him shooting the tray ball, getting down early. And you didn't need a lot from James Harden. Like, you didn't need 30. but you got those early three-point shooting and just a sensational play by him. But this is what you want. When the moment shines the brighter, you can count on these stars. James Harden has shown that this is his home. He loves being here. He loves being a Clipper. And to do this on that first, again, the first ever playoff game into it, he was definitely into it.
6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, and I love the lineup change there as well. We talked about it at half, where Kawhi and Big Zoo take a seat, and it is James Harden and Norman Powell that got things going. We will talk about Norm, no doubt, because he was very comfortable in the home dome confines. But let's take a look at the Western Conference playoff picture right now. Memphis finally got their home game. They blew a 29-point lead. It is notable that Ja Morant was hurt in that one in the second quarter, but Memphis just imploded, and now OKC with a 3-0 lead, and of course that would be the opponent the Clippers will face when they get by the Denver Nuggets.
You know what, when we were watching this game and you saw the Clippers go on 20 points, and you can't get comfortable. And you look at what happened against the Memphis Grizzlies, against OKC, the #1 team in the Western Conference. You have to keep your foot on the gas, and they weren't able to do that. But what I would say is, for the Clippers, they continue to put their foot on the gas, and it wasn't just their offense, like we just spoke about. Defensively, they kept battling. They didn't allow Denver to get comfortable. And when I look at this entire game, it's almost even from a coaching standpoint. Ty Lue exploited a lot of that from a coaching standpoint. And there, again, they have a new coach coming in. They're still trying to find the system. And after that second, they're going into the third quarter, you can tell that they started to fade away in this game.
Yeah, listen, this is far from over. That is a high-caliber team over there. But
especially when you have Joker over there.
At some point, when we are looking for where is the edge, I think we can look at the Clippers bench, where we see JVG and Ty Lue. Ty Lue, by the way, has made his way to the media center after a very nice win for his team.
You talked about wanting to play better. Was this an example of that? And what was behind you guys playing at a higher level tonight?
Yes, this is what I was talking about. Like I said, our fans was unbelievable tonight. And just be able to come home, play our first playoff game in the Intuit Dome, it was very exciting. And our fans came out. They showed up and showed out. And like I said, guys played better, played well. Norm was huge for us tonight. You know, scoring the basketball, but also making the right play in the pick and roll versus the blitzes. And, you know, we got to build off of it. Like I said, it's only 2 games. But today, I liked our approach. I like what we did defensively. And, you know, it's still going to be a tough series. You know, it ain't over because we, you know, had a blowout. It's only 1 game. You know, so we got to be ready to come and validate that on Saturday.
Ty, what is it about Nico that you can just throw him into a playoff series no matter what and he'll deliver every time?
Because he's been...
Baik, kemauan lihatnya.